Hello everyone and welcome to our Belgian Villains channel. Today, we are going to comment on the match that took place this Sunday the 25th of January at St James Park, Newcastle Stadium in the north of England. An important match for Villa, who had lost 0-1 at home against Everton. A defeat that did not please the Villains, because at that moment they could have closed the gap on Arsenal and gone to within 3 points of Manchester City, who had also lost. In the meantime, they won in Europe against Fenerbahce, which boosted the morale of many supporters. But the match did not start very well against Newcastle, because after 35 seconds of play, Sandro Tonali had a huge chance in front of goal. But fortunately for the defense, Emiliano Martinez produced a superb save in a one-on-one with his legs. This allowed Villa not to fall behind very early in the match. Thankfully, the Villains managed to respond, because after a few minutes of possession, a good chance came from a very fine pass from Jadon Sancho to Ollie Watkins. At Watkins, we had a good shooting angle and he took the shot, but Nick Pope made a fine save. Then the match continued a bit in this way in midfield, a real duel between Amadou Onana and Joe Ellington. Then, around the 21st minute of play, Emiliano Buendia had a huge chance after a superb bit of one-touch football between Tielemans, Rodgers and Buendia. Buendia attempted a beautifully curled shot into the bottom left corner of the goal. 1-0 to Aston Villa. What a strike from Emiliano Buendia, and above all what a goal. Another one from outside the box. Almost a record this year. At that moment, Villa were leading 0-1 and it was another goal for Emiliano Buendia this season. Then, towards the end of the first half, Newcastle United almost equalised thanks to a superb header from Lewis Smiley. But once again, Emiliano Martinez was there to make a magnificent save. The two teams therefore went into the dressing rooms with the score at 0-1 to Aston Villa. In the second half, Newcastle tried to equalise, but fortunately Aston Villa's defence was very solid. They did not let themselves be pushed around, despite many crosses and many long-range shots from the Newcastle players. This also allowed Unai Emery to make a change. Jadon Sancho came off in place of Leon Bailey. The return of Leon Bailey that everyone had been waiting for since the end of the loan to Isrom was announced. Bailey came into the match quite well and helped unlock a few situations. A good return. Continuing to talk about good chances, Ollie Watkins near the end of the match attempted a very long-range shot because he could not go in for a one-on-one. He aimed for the top corner, but fortunately for Newcastle, Nick Pope was well set. This resulted in a corner, fairly well taken, which came back to the feet of Morgan Rodgers, who decided to play a pass to Lucas Digne inside the box, who then only had to cross into the path of Ollie Watkins. Watkins delivered a superb header between the legs of Nick Pope. 0-2 for Villa, a deserved victory because after so much effort, they deserved this second goal. Another goal for Ollie Watkins, who becomes Villa's top scorer this season along with Rodgers. Villa continued to defend very well in added time and the match therefore finished with a score of 0-2 for Villa. What a great match, especially as Villa had not won at St James Park since 2005. They had been on a run of defeats or draws. That is why it was a real relief. Also, a very good match for Emiliano Martinez, who was making his 200th appearance and managed to keep a clean sheet. We of course hope to see such results against Salzburg in the Europa League this Thursday. A match that could allow Villa to finish in the top 2 of the table and gain an advantage over the rest of the competition. Thank you very much for watching this video. Up the Villa!